All right, it's an old crime with a new twist. Houston police are trying to stop armed robbers targeting shoppers at some of Houston's high-end shopping centers.
Marcelino Benito has been following these latest crimes and is live now with more on where and why these crimes are picking up again. Marcelino?
Well, guys, we've been covering these crimes for weeks now, but now we've learned where these crooks are targeting shoppers. They're focusing on 5 areas across our city. That does include the Galleria, where we are tonight. It also includes the River Oaks shopping district just up the road from here. Now, it's similar to what we've covered for years happening at banks, but now the robbers spend hours watching people shop. They then wait for you to leave the store. They follow innocent people home or to their next stop, and that is when they choose to strike. Police say they either break into cars to steal whatever you just bought, but have also become increasingly violent. They're getting away with thousands of dollars worth of goods. Former HPD robbery detective Mark Stevens says for some of these robbery crews, it's sort of become their full-time job.
They do their surveillance, they do their homework, and they watch people. And when they pick a good target, someone that they think is going to be vulnerable, somebody not paying attention, then that's who they go after.
Now, we know a lot of these shopping centers have increased security and are taking steps to protect shoppers. We're going to break down who these crooks are actually targeting and what people can do to make sure they protect themselves. That's all coming up in a live report tonight at 10. For now, we're live in the Galleria. I'm Marcelino Benito, KHOU 11 News.
Any information we can empower folks with to keep themselves safe is so important. Marcelino, see you a little bit later.